Hey fans, welcome to another edition of WPOV Aftermath. I'm your host, Alleged T. James Logan, and today we're concentrating on a rarity for us, an AEW pay-per-view. I gotta say, I kind of wish it was more of a rarity, but we're gonna get into this show. Guys, overall impressions before we get into all of this mess. Do you guys feel this was a great investment of your time tonight? Overall?
No. This was boom goes the dynamite, except it doesn't go boom.
No. Wait a minute.
We're gonna get into all that.
It's not.
There's a lot.
It's not boom goes the dynamite. It's goes the dynamite.
Fans, as you can imagine, a lot of us, we take the time when we watch these shows, we actually text each other a lot sometimes. And boy, sometimes I wish we could just release the text because I think it was a pretty funny, some of the stuff we talked about. We're going to get right into this. First of all, we'll start with the
our stuff on Messenger was a lot funnier than this show. For sure.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't think they tried to be funny, but it sure came off as a bit of a joke. We're going to start off with
I'm talking entertainment-wise.
The women's match where we had Britt Baker and Maki Ito taking on Thunder Rosa and Riho. Interesting match. I'm going to say Britt Baker and Ito getting the win after a little bit of cheating. We had some weird thing in the beginning with Reba supposedly being injured, but it was obvious the way she walked around with her little crutch that it was all, to get in under people's skin. And she manages to give a crotch shot to Thunder Rosa to win this match. Guys, with this opening match, what did you think? Rick?
I'll tell you what, and I'm going to be honest with you, this was match of the night for me. This was absolutely the match of the night. I got to tell you, Maki Ito, she really impressed me. I love her energy. I love the headbutting. Like all the different headbutt variation moves she had was really good. Britt Baker always impresses lately. Thunder Rosa and Riho even were really good. I thought this match overall was the best match of the night. I gave it a 3, honestly.
And that's the pregame. Oh my goodness, Tony.
No. I mean, what's her name? Maki
Ito.
She's cute. Reminded me of the Japanese band Baby Metal, and she was. Is that what she was referring to?
Yeah, her story is she was kicked out of an all-girls band.
I wonder if it was that one. Because they're all girls. Seriously, because they're all girls.
Yeah.
Well,
their music is a lot heavier, though.
Yeah. Actually, my daughter loves their music. But no, I mean, it wasn't bad. I ended up giving it a 3 for our standards. So I did give it like a B. So It wasn't that bad. There was some miscues, though, but it was still a good match overall.
All right. Elio?
I went with the 2.5 on this one.
Okay, so not quite up there. Yeah, I thought it was it was a solid match, and it got my expectations up. I'm like, the buy-ins like this. Oh, we're going to be in for a good night of wrestling. Tony's right, though. There were some really glaring mistakes in there. And when she came out and first started singing and they didn't match up her music properly, I thought, oh, my God, this is going to be a terrible night. But it worked out. All right, moving on. Let's get into this thing. We get in opening match, and this surprised me. They opened with it. The Young Bucks taking on Chris Jericho and MJF. This match had a lot going on without feeling like a lot was going on. I don't know. For me, it felt kind of flat. It didn't feel like that usually the Young Bucks, even if you don't like what they do in there and you don't like their lack of storytelling, they usually have a lot of flash and bang. And this really seemed a couple steps off tonight, and that was disappointing. In the end, the Young Bucks retained the belts. A bit of a collision with Chris Jericho and Wardlow, which I think is going to play out somewhat soon down the road. Tony, how'd you feel about this match, man?
To me, this was the match of the night. I gave it a 3.5, so about an A, I would have to say. But it was a good match.
Okay.
I don't know where they're going to go now with the Inner Circle, especially after the backstage promo where they were like, we're going to have a meeting on Dynamite. So expect the Inner Circle to do probably 4 segments of that. But overall, though, this match was good. For me, it was the one that topped up everything that had happened on AEW. This was the one that stood out to me.
Okay. Elio, how did you feel?
Yeah, same. This one, I wasn't sure about this match. This one was match of the night for me as well. I give this one a 3 because I thought it was a fast-paced match and a lot going on in this one.
Okay. Rick.
This was garbage. I'm sorry. I don't know what you guys saw in this match. This match was garbage. First of all, I'll tell you this.
Christ, this is coming from somebody who said the Britt Baker match is match of the fucking night.
That was match of the night. This was garbage. Tony, you graded the same thing at 3.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
3. Yes,
no, I gave the Young Bucks match a 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so 0.5 more.
Damn.
So
it was still better than that one.
No, this one was
Yes.
Listen, I'll tell you what was great about this match. Tony Schiavone and his hatred for MJF. It reminds me of when Michael Cole loved The Miz. I really love that. I love how they go along with that. I wish they continue that. But what I will say is the false finish when Matt Jackson took a bat to the back and took MJF's finisher and he kicked out. That's just ridiculous. Come on, man. Like, I get it. Young Bucks, they're all full of false finishes, but this was just ridiculous. You took a bat to the back and a finisher, and you still kicked out. And that's not even the worst false finish of the night. And we'll get into that more later on.
I see what you're getting at. For me, this was an okay match. Like I said, though, I felt there was a bit of step off. The problems I always have is Matt Jackson always is like Hulk Hogan in his prime.
Yeah.
He can take a gazillion beatings and a nuclear bomb and still get up. So it's kind of ridiculous when you're 5'7" and you can beat all these dudes. So I get both your guys' side. I lean towards more. I did actually enjoy the women's match a little bit more, but not by much.
You're wrong too.
All right. This is now where sometimes I hate these matches. Sometimes they can work out great. We had what they called the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, which meant it was sort of like a Royal Rumble type setting where they start off with 2 teams. Every 90 seconds, another team comes out. But it also had the weird stipulation that if one member of your team got eliminated, your team wasn't done. First of all, do you guys like that or hate that? Do you think the teams should go out when one guy goes out? Or do you like this having to have 2 eliminations to get eliminated?
You know, as a wrestler's point of view, I would like it because then it gives myself a chance to shine. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as a fan's point of view, I must say I still like it, even though it's going to be a little bit longer. But you know, it's okay. I think it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish they would have. I wish they would have done a regular battle royal format where they all start at the same time and just eliminate one. Yeah. Because the 90 seconds thing was just dragging it out, and the participants didn't know what to do at one point. They were just like, okay, what are we doing next? I'll just go into my POV. I gave it a 1.5. I think Jungle Boy got robbed again. I think this is ridiculous what they're doing. Every battle royal, Jungle Boy comes up close to the end and can't fucking win. It's ridiculous. The one shining moment from this match was Bear Country. I really dig them. I think that's a good, solid team. Yeah. So that's my take on it. Thumbs down.
What was your take, Tony?
Well, for me, this was average. I mean, there was some good and bad to this match, but I honestly, because I'm a huge fan of Jungle Boy, I think Jungle Boy saved this battle royal at the end with that, just with him getting hyped. And I'm glad. And this is why when I came off saying, for a wrestler's point of view, is your chance to shine. And Jungle Boy did shine when it was just him by himself with the Triangle.
Ray Phoenix.
Them guys, yeah.
Pack, yeah.
Yeah, the Octagon of Death or something like that.
The deadly shapes.
The ring.
The rumble. But, it was his time to shine, and he did, though he did came up short, like Rick said, and that's getting kind of old because, for me, Jungle Boy is very, very underrated, and you got to put him in that title picture now while he's hot. But the one thing, since we're talking about Jungle Boy, the one thing I really, really admire about him is the fact that, and, rest in peace for his dad, but he never brings his dad into it just so he can pursue his career in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. So he's taking this very, very serious. So me as a promoter, I would definitely be putting this dude in the title picture by himself. He doesn't need a tag. He's got to be by himself. But it's unfortunate he came short. But overall, this match was just average. He saved it a little bit, but it was just average. And of course, Phoenix was just phenomenal. So,
Yeah.
How about you, Elio?
For me,
Anything stick out in this for you?
Bear Country, I want to see more of these guys.
Yeah, I do too.
But Matt and Mike Seidel, I don't see anything out of this.
Yeah.
No.
So Bear Country, right? Is that what they're called? Where are they from?
Yeah. They're a team that is on Dark for the last month or two.
They've been on Dark.
No,
and
but
I think they're from the
AEW?
Northeast. I think they were from the Northeast, like they were just independent guys.
Really?
They just picked them up. So, yeah, I like them. I didn't know what to expect. I've heard their name and I hadn't actually seen them because I don't actually watch Dark. I don't have 8 hours.
I don't think a lot of people watches Dark.
No. And I don't think a lot of people are going to watch the new show either.
I don't have that kind of time to sit in front of my computer. I download it and then I watch it on my own time.
Yeah. My thought when I watched the match, you're right. This Seidel guy, not good. Matt Seidel is not ready. He should be in Dark with his brother till they can get their crap together. Peter Avalon, my God, don't send that guy out there anymore. He looks like ridiculous. And one thing that I worry about is Marco Stunt. And I know I always have negative things, but bear with me on this one. He openly interfered in matches today and caused people's elimination. That's not good guy stuff. Now he looks like an annoying piece of shit who's annoying and helping the dinosaur dude cheat. There's going to become a point where I think Jungle Boy has to distance himself from these guys because I really think that people, you're not a good guy when you openly cheat in front of everyone and the ref. So, and yes, I hate Marco Stunt.
And what about QT Marshall's turn?
Yeah, who the fuck cares? Like QT Marshall is like the lamest dude on the thing. It's like Peter Avalon turning. Who cares?
I saw him just get mad at Dustin, jump out of the ring, and take off.
Spit on him.
That's it.
But what's funny to me with that was that Tony Schiavone was still trying to save that part by saying, "So what's going to happen? What if Dustin wins this? Are they still going to be partners?" I was just like, seriously, dude. Really?
Nobody cares.
Nobody.
Dustin's not winning.
No.
QT Marshall's never been anything except a lower jobber guy, even in ROH. So, yikes. So yeah, that match. I can see the point. I know you guys hated Jungle Boy not winning, but do we really want to see Jurassic Express more? I'd rather away from this. And he gets a title match, then he's locked in there, right?
Yeah.
So we go to a backstage segment. I'll just tell you really quickly. We have Paul White hyping up the signing tonight. And guys, was this not confusing? Because every one of us assumed the guy being signed was supposed to be the sixth man.
I did at first.
That's what I thought.
So we'll get to that. How great of how this all panned out. Next, the AEW Women's Championship. Now, we were going back and forth a bit about this. I got to admit that it was a good match, but not a great match, because the problem is Sheeta's a good worker, but sometimes she's not given good enough opponents to make the match well. And tonight's opponent, there was a story there that was really mistranslated, I think, by the announcers. They weren't quite grasping or giving us what this was supposed to be. So it got lost. And it just seemed like a way longer match than it should have been. The rich history between Sheeta and Mizami was touched on a bit, but not enough to the extent. But
to be fair, to me, they only mentioned it once.
Yeah.
Once she won the tournament, they only mentioned it one time, and then that was it. Now I could be wrong, but throughout the tournament, did they ever mention that? I don't know. I haven't seen that. They haven't. Well, there you go. It would have been different if they did mention that throughout the whole tournament that these two had problems back in the past, or they do have a past or whatever. But they only mentioned it one time, and then I was like, "Oh, all right."
Then during the match, they mentioned that they teamed up at the first Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Now, and Tony hit you right on the head. The supposed Booker of the Year here. This was not the match that Tony Khan should have put in there. I mean, he either should have had a different person or explain those motivations. Because when they showed us the clips, if you guys remember on the show when they showed you, on the Japanese one, if you didn't catch this, it was like 20 seconds, and then somebody won and went to the next thing. So this came off really flat, and it shouldn't have, and I think it was a wasted opportunity. This is where better booking really could have made this something special, and it wasn't. So as best, it was a half-ass match. I'm going to say it was, in your guys' thing, I guess I would have given it like a 2.75, but maybe a C for tonight. Rick, how do you see this play out?
Oof, man, this match. Listen, I get it. It's up to the bookers to actually give you a good story or whatever. But also as a wrestler, like, you need to be able to tell the story in the ring, and the story in the ring was falling flat. First of all, the chops are ridiculous. We saw them on Wednesday night. We laughed about it, but honestly, like, you're supposed to sell me on that. I feel like it was a slow-moving match. Weak hits at moments, and then the false finishes just weren't there. It's just, there was something really off with this match, and I know, like, everybody loves Shida. I love Shida, but Shida's been coming up boring to me lately, and this match just shows it that this was not it. Listen, honestly, I think Nyla Rose would have had a better match with Shida if they had this. and we all know I don't like
all right, you're pushing
Rose.
it, Rick.
I know, I am. But this match was bad, man. And I gave it a 1. It was just really bad. Yeah.
All right. How about you, Elio?
There were times where the match was slow. There were times where it felt like it was picking up, but for me, it was just okay. I gave this one a 1.
All right. Tony?
Yeah, no, man, I'm a big fan of Shida. I love me some Shida. Yeah. I think she's a really good women's champion, but I think Rick said, she's just she doesn't have anybody to dance with, and it takes 2 to tango, and she's not getting it, man. I mean, outside I could probably do that for her, but we're talking about wrestling. But I mean, this match in itself is just terrible. I mean, Rio, man, the chops were horrendous. It was bad. This was bad, and I hate to say this because I love Shida, and I think Shida has really, really good potential, but it's just for me, it's like Jungle Boy. Yep. She's very good, but it's not getting put in the right spot. It's like, she's your champion, man. Do something other than doing this bullshit tournament that led to nothing, because I knew nothing about this tournament. I mean, I did, when they were repeated, but why do they have rankings then? What's the purpose of that if you're going to keep doing these fucking tournaments? But I mean,
who's going to watch one side of the tournament on YouTube?
Exactly.
I tried to watch it. I'm like, I can't do this. I just can't.
And we've had this complaint about AEW a lot. The rankings they talk about, but they mean absolutely nothing. You have a tournament every month.
It means nothing. Yeah. And I mean, and like I said, I hated to do this to my girl, but I mean, I gave it a 2. Because you can tell she was struggling a lot, but she was still trying to make it a good match. The one part where, what's her name? Rio was, she threw her into the crowd. Even that was pretty bad. And I was just like, wow. They did a lot with the crowd in this pay-per-view, which I thought was a little odd, but whatever. But it was just bad. This match was not good. I was so disappointed because, like I said, I love Shida, but I was disappointed.
The worst part about this whole thing is they had this whole stupid tournament that went over, the last month? When in the last month, the women's division, they've had women all of a sudden stepping up. Give us one of them. Don't waste our time on nobodies. This is a pay-per-view. I'm going to say this match was poor in a way, and what encapsulated for me is one image can explain to each and every one of you what this feeling of the match was, and that was when Shida went to pin her near the end and couldn't even reach over to pull her big legs up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's how I felt watching at the end of this match. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I can only defend her so much.
I was just about to say that. Because of the atrocity that happened after the match. I was just like, she's making it hard for me to defend her. Anybody that's a Shida fan, it is making it hard to defend her when crap like this happens. And you got to ask yourself, is it really booking now or is it her? Mm-hmm. So, I feel bad, but
I want to lean towards booking just for the fact it's always the same people. They've got all these other girls, but it's the same 4 people in the mix.
Yep.
You know, and how about this? Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
This was perfect for Jade, who was ringside.
Yes, I was going to bring this up.
Perfect for Jade to come into the ring and just say, all right, Sheeta. She didn't even have to touch Sheeta. She could just look at Sheeta and just stare her down. And that would be perfect. And she doesn't need to get a title shot right away. You could have been like, all right, I'm watching you, Sheeta.
That could have been the start of the build.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or she didn't even have to do Sheeta, even if she had gone in and stared down Nyla. Just get her presence while she just made her debut out there.
So that way she can get into the title picture,
Instead, she's awkwardly clapping.
Yeah, and then again,
Cody.
That's how it starts the feud, the storyline.
Yeah, and let's face it, another big brush off, and what happens? The same women getting ready to feud. When you've got all these other up and comers who are looking great out there, that's piss poor on AEW on that one. I'm going to say. Okay, this is one thing I think has got to stop in AEW. Okay. We do not need best friends Miro backstage crap anymore. It looks so poorly done every single time they do it. We're supposed to believe that Orange Cassidy he didn't even get hit. He just stood there and let Kip Sabian, who's smaller than him, pick him up and slam him on a big riser. Who the hell would let that happen ever?
Yeah.
You can't suspend your disbelief in this garbage. It's ridiculous. You know? So this leads to Miro dragging Chuck out to the ring and starts down, of course, throws him through a window. Let's not forget that, which was amazing. He went head first through a window, but got a cut on his face and his arm. Okay.
Yeah.
So he drags him to the ring, and we have, which I can't even say this was a good match, but I think it did have one good thing going for it. It looks like this is the start of the Miro Kip Sabian turn on each other, because Miro did, in fact, let Penelope go to the Wolves pretty harsh to get that win.
Yeah.
But this is confusing. Explain this one to me, Tony. Miro is 3 times bigger than Kip, and yet he is the one acting like the villain, and Kip, the little tiny squeak, is going to have to try and defend his wife.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit misplaced in the storyline, since Kip has shown us nothing ever.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Tony, you go on this match.
Well,
this match made me kind of ill.
I gave it a 1, so for you guys, it was a straight up D. I hated the way they started. They started from the backstage out to the ring, and it just, for me, I was a little confused, because right before when the match ended, not this one, but the match before that, we're quick to use the restroom. I came out and all this has happened. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? And I was still confused. I was like, wait a minute, why are they, and then what? Oh no, this was bad. This was bad. There's no defending this. And I get it. They're trying to make Miro into, this big beast. But you have to ask yourself, does he really need to be with those people? Why isn't he in the title picture?
Exactly.
I haven't seen him lose yet.
And also,
why wasn't he in the ladder match? Sorry, Elio. Why wasn't he in this ladder match, for that matter? I wouldn't mind seeing Miro versus Darby Allin, where he'll beat the shit out of Darby Allin.
Yeah, that's Darby's place.
Yeah, So I mean, the direction Miro's going in is not good at all.
No, it was bad when he was yelling at Chuck. I could strap a rocket to your back, to you.
Yeah.
I could.
Don't even your own rocket.
I can make it. I can make this all end. Like, no.
Yeah, coming from a guy who can't get out of first gear, he's going to make you the star. Okay. Elio, you want to go on with the match?
Yeah, everyone just said when I was saying this was just a bad match. I gave it a 1.
All right, Rick.
You guys are a lot nicer than me. I gave it a 0.5. This was trash. This was garbage. Miro is garbage. Chuck Taylor's garbage.
So is it a D-?
It's a fucking F. It's an F. Like, fuck off
0
with this match. It's terrible. First of all, Orange Cassidy, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
But all right, but wait a minute. Not for nothing, but what can he do? What is he supposed to do?
Nothing. Say? No. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Him and Marco do a team.
Yo, Wrestling Observer said that he has the character of the year. That he had, and the Fiend was the worst. Character of the year. That's the Wrestling Observer for you, who also said Tony Khan was the promoter of the year.
Yeah.
So let that sink in. Orange Cassidy is garbage, bro. Pure garbage. And the orange punch, his selling of his back being broken was ridiculous because his back.
Yeah,
Tom, his back was broken.
If his back was broken, how did he just pop up and deliver that Superman punch or that orange punch, whatever?
Yeah,
pure garbage.
It's really, really bad, and I've had it with all of this, and like I said, I don't see how if you're making Miro into the giant monster, you can't make Pipsqueak Sabian and his horrible bitchy wife. Nobody likes them. They don't even hate them. They're just nothing. They're a pretty girl in leather floating in the wind. So who cares? Bad booking. They could have made those guys into something.
Yeah.
All right, now
this is bad.
I know we're sounding like we're shitting on this, but the thing is, it was a really bad.
That's the thing, though. Like, even in our private message and on Messenger, we were talking about. I think that's the most I ever even freaking comment with you guys ever, but it was just that bad. I was just like, I'm entertained by this more than this fucking pay-per-view. But the thing is, everybody needs to understand we're not bashing it. We're calling it like it is. If it was good, I'm going to say it's good. And I'm sure the rest of you guys would do it too. Like, if there's something that I didn't like and you guys did, all right, convince me, change my mind. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Rick disagreed with me with that damn first match. I think it's bullshit. But it is what it is. We're not doing this just so we can get clout. We're not doing this so we can get attention. We're not doing this so we can get numbers on our Facebook page. We're doing this because it's the fucking truth. This was terrible. Or as Charles Barkley would say, it was terrible.
Well, Tony brings up a great point. I mean, me and Elio host a show every week where we look at AEW, and we really try to dig hard. We want it to succeed. I had my reservations about this main event and possible cinematic match, but I wanted to enjoy this. I wanted this whole card to be super solid, and then we'll deal with the end stuff. And I was extremely disappointed by this. I want AEW to succeed, but garbage put together like this. And the most important part is, and Tony has been trying to point this out to you guys, the potential is there. The wrestlers are there. This is just bad storytelling that makes them seem like it's garbage. Now, they could have taken these whole matches and made it better.
Now, let me ask you guys a question, though, because we're talking about this and the storyline wise and everything else.
Yeah.
Now, from what I've been hearing, and I'm pretty sure you guys did too, ever since AEW started, they pretty much leave the storytelling to the wrestlers itself. And they do what they want. They do their own promos. They don't need a script and and this and that. Now, WWE, of course, they got agents. They got bookers of their own. They got, for each person, for that matter, to tell a story within WWE. Okay, this is what I need you to say. Why don't you say this or this? Or they write them an actual fucking script. So now, is this AEW's downfall, letting the wrestlers have free reign on what their storyline is? Or does it really need to be controlled?
That was WCW's downfall. It's the same thing.
Well, you know what? We had Ron Fuller on the show and Kevin Sullivan, and we talked directly about booking. And the problem here is it's kind of in between, because they would say they had bookers. Yes, they had a couple set guys who wrote and decided how things were happening. But today you have on one side WWE, where it's Hollywood writers writing television shows who've never wrestled, versus wrestlers who don't know dick and they're doing their own stuff. So they're both wrong.
Yep.
What they need is people who know wrestling but can write it and translate it into stuff. And I don't think that's hard to do. You need to have a background, not just in communications, but maybe be a wrestler also. And I think then you would understand. Tony probably knows more to tell these stories than any of us, because he's been in there. He's seen how the crowd reacts. He knows the things that work. It's hard to translate for me to walk in and hand Tony a script and say, all right, Tony, make them cheer you because you're going to say this. And he might look at it and go, what the fuck? I'm supposed to say that? Yep, I'm your boss. Say that shit. And Tony's like, well, I guess I got to say this shit. Is it on Tony now when nobody cheers? No, because I'm writing him the garbage. He's paid to do the garbage. And he has no control, because he knows if I hand him that script and he doesn't do the garbage, fuck that. I'll hire the guy next to him to do the garbage, and Tony's on the unemployment check. So, unfortunately,
it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Exactly, and that's the problem here. AEW's one side, WWE's the other. We need the middle.
But you know what's funny, and I know we're going to get into this match. Matt Hardy, look at him. He came in thinking that this whole delete thing was going to work, and it didn't.
And it didn't.
So look at the bullshit that he's coming up with now. It's like, dude,
oh yeah,
what? It's time for you to get off TV. No,
Yeah.
you're done. Retire.
He was going through that period where he was trying the ROH Matt Hardy, then all the other different variations before he settled on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know it's bad when you're throwing everything against the wall.
Trying to, yeah. Oh my God.
So this is what's funny. You bring up a great point because the next match, Matt Hardy and Adam Page, actually was okay wrestling, but the story was such garbage that it hit it all. Right? It just came across as horrible. And I don't know. We talked about this earlier, and Andy has said the best thing in this world for him, he thought, was if Matt Hardy won. Then Adam Page is down and broken. That's how you get him into the Dark Order, because now he all of a sudden has nowhere to go. He has no money. He's down and out. And that could have been a good storyline. Where does it go for Matt Hardy? Now he's the big loser who has no money, and he has to scrape 30% off his private party.
So private party turn on him because he can't pay them.
Well, no, he still gets 30% of their pay. So you can pay them that way, I suppose. But so let's get this match. I thought this match, like I said, could have been and should have been a much better match. And if you took at it and turned off the sound and just watched, a lot of it was some good wrestling. However, it was really lacking once again in story and direction and the things that they were trying to communicate to us. In the end, you had Private Party trying to interfere back and forth and help out. The Dark Order comes out, evens the score, and Adam Page takes the win. Matt Hardy now is broken and destitute, I suppose. But for me, this match, I'm going to have to give it less than good. So, I guess that would be like I'm going to give it a 1.5.
Wow.
Okay. Because it did have some stuff in it. It had some good moves. It had some interesting things. But overall, a bit of a turd. Rick?
I honestly thought this was the second best match of the night. I gave it a 2.5.
Okay.
It was an average match.
Average.
It's your view. Let's hear it. Why?
Yeah, it was an average match. It was just the wrestling, like you said, the story wasn't there, but the wrestling was there. I thought I was very entertained by that. The only good thing, I mean, I picked Matt Hardy to win this match because I wanted Adam Page to go and join the Dark Order all messed up. But on the other hand, you know what? I'm happy that Adam Page won because he needed this win. And now he's still with Dark Order. So maybe he makes something of this. Maybe it pushes him up towards the title picture or something, because right now he needs something. And Matt Hardy, get the Hardy Boys off my TV. Matt and Jeff, I am sick of seeing them. They do not bring anything to TV. They have been around 28 years. Did you hear Tony Schiavone? 28 years Matt Hardy's been wrestling. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Fair enough.
That's Owen Hart, but yeah. No, I mean, the reason why I'm laughing when Rick says this is the second best match of the night is because I can't think of any second or third or fourth. No, they were all poor. It was pretty poor. But I did give this match a 2, so it was like about a D plus C. I would go at the furthest point. So an average match, I do agree with, but again, the whole man. Is it over? Is this storyline over with now?
I would think so.
No, they're going to drag it out. Like he has no money.
No,
I'm talking about. I mean, he's separated from Adam Page. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, and then what's going to happen now with Adam Page? Is he going to now be the leader of the Dark Order? I mean, I don't know. Cowboy running that shit. I don't know. But it was terrible. I don't want to say terrible. It was okay. It was average. I was expecting better, to be honest.
You know, Tony, if this had been on Monday night, what is it, Shotgun Monday Night or one of those kind of shows, this would have been an okay match because you don't need a storyline, right? But
this would have been a main event.
Yeah, it would have been too. Elio, what do you think about it?
The wrestling was there, the storyline. So it was just an okay match for me, and give it a 1.5.
Okay, all right. Next, got to be one of the most strangest, ridiculous looking ladder matches I've ever seen. When Tony said it looked like one of Sonic's rings hanging up there, I laughed my ass off because I didn't notice, and then I looked at it, I was like, holy crap, they got an inflated
Sonic
lifesaver from a boat that they spray painted gold and threw it up there.
Are you guys doing the books though?
Yes, we are.
Because I want to put that in the book, but
we'll put that in for this week.
But the way I called it though was the brass bagel.
Yes.
Yes, you mentioned something about cream cheese on it.
So, call it the brass bagel with cream cheese. That needs to go in the fucking book because that was atrocious, man.
Yep.
Seriously, they really did that. I can't believe they really fucking did that. and the thing of it is, it's now you guys know this to be true, but this was supposed to be a fucking shot at WWE.
Yes. Yeah.
They actually put a fucking inflatable. I can't even fucking say the word, but that thing, that atrocious thing, the fucking brass fucking bagel.
Yeah, the brass.
They did that. They actually did that.
I was trying to figure out what you were talking about because I when you said the ring, I'm like, okay, so what? They put a small ring, and then I saw it. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, when you said that too, Tony, I thought there's a small ring, and I saw that thing, and I was like, oh, Jesus,
man, that was terrible.
There was only one good thing I'm going to say about that thing. And you probably guys noticed this.
Yeah.
That is the most secure way they ever put up something on a matter. You had to actually unhook clip to take something off. There was no accidentally pulling that thing.
Yeah.
There was no knocking it off. You had to unclip and pull the thing up to get it off. That's the most secure I've ever seen anything.
WWE's do that too.
WWE's been doing that for a little while.
Okay, they
now.
had it before.
Yeah.
I've been to places. I've been to indie ones where they fall off.
Yeah. Well, before they used to, when they, because mainly it was always a title. They would. And you would have to break the title down.
Yeah, they were.
But now but now they have the little anchor and you put the belt on and you put it on the hook. So you got to unhook and then take it out and all that. They've been doing that for 3 years, I think.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for a while now. Yeah.
Ooh, tells you how little.
But
I haven't paid much attention. I gotta check it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was one of the worst ladder matches I've ever seen, man. I was not behind this. And then let's not forget Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
Okay.
You said it was going to be RVD. I would have rather have seen RVD.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out here right now, guys, and I want you guys to think about this, okay?
Yeah.
I said I had a theory of why this happened, okay?
Okay.
And I think the theory was this. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all week I have been bugged by fans saying who they thought the big superstar coming was. All week people have been sending me ridiculous stuff. That's why I said stuff like David Arquette. I was like just being ridiculous, right? But people were like Batista. I had people saying Batista, John Cena, CM Punk, like these really big names, right?
Yeah.
And I think the problem here is Christian on his own, we have a great signing coming, would have been okay. But when they hyped him up, the fans took it way too far. They thought they were getting, let's face it, Christian is an upper B card guy. You know, he's upper mid card. Okay. He's not a main event guy. We've seen that from TNA. They tried to make him champion. It fell pretty flat. But he's a good wrestler. He's got name recognition. He's at the top of the B thing. So I think, honestly, they probably looked all week and went, holy shit, we can't deliver an A+ superstar. So what we do is, and that's why they did this, we hire Ethan Page. We're going to hire him anyways. We throw them out. Everybody gets a little deflated. Okay. Oh, it's Ethan Page, right? Okay. Half the people don't know him. The AEW fanboys are like, yeah, he's good. He's good. But in their hearts, they're all kind of like, So then you pull the swerve, throw out Christian. Then you've made a guy who's a B+ guy into an A guy for that one moment, because now they're like feeling like, we got something big. But if you just thrown Christian out, it would have went like, it's just Christian Cage. So I think that's why they did that. I think that's why Ethan Page was the fall guy. He knew it. He didn't even wrestle like he was a superstar tonight. He had pretty utility in there, didn't he? I was kind of hoping it was going to be Max Caster or Scorpio Sky, because let's face it, Darby's the good guy. You can't have any of these other good guys win it. Yeah. You need to have a guy who's going to attack him. Boy, they've been pushing Scorpio out of nowhere all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I guessed it was going to be one of these two guys. I figured maybe Caster, because his partner's injured right now and out for a while. You keep him fresh by having him around. But, there's some ridiculous stuff in there. Lance Archer looked ridiculous in a ladder match. I mean, just too big of a dude to climb up a ladder. Cody, I don't know.
Too much attention on Cody. Yeah.
Way too much attention.
Every time he climbed up the ladder, I'm like, no, don't give it to Cody.
Yeah.
In the end, there were a few cool things. I mean, Scorpio took a hell of a cool slam onto the ladder with Archer in between it.
Yeah.
Ethan Page did not come off looking super, but he didn't look horrible either. He just looked kind of utility, which unfortunately he did an Impact a lot too. So
Yeah.
don't hold your breath that he's going to be
Now-
an upper mid card or an upper card
Ethan
guy.
Page, he was with the Wolves, right?
No, he was with
No, he was with Josh
with
Alexander.
They were the Canadian.
They were called
the
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 North.
North. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they were just
I
a
remember
hard-hitting
them.
team like FTR.
Yeah.
Nothing splashy.
And then before he left, he developed this other character, the Karate
Yeah,
Man.
if you guys look up the
whatever.
Karate Man, that is what the Sting stuff was, pumped up to him throwing guys into volcanoes, and it was just pure garbage, but funny.
Terrible.
Yeah. Tony, how did you think of this ladder match?
I mean, it was okay, I guess. I mean, for a ladder match, but I mean, Jake the Snake got a little spot.
Come
Awkward.
on.
Awkward
He
dab.
needed it.
Yeah, but he didn't have the room.
Come on, man.
He didn't have
Ricky
room.
stood
Needed
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ethan Page stood there for how long waiting for him to do something?
exactly, because he was just like, Jake was like, fuck, it's been about 20 years. Hold on a second. Move over now. Move over. All right, now I'll get you. He's like, fuck, finally. But no, I mean, I gave it a 2. I'm glad Scorpio Sky won. I really am. It's something different. I always complain every time. I want to see something different. And to have them finally have Scorpio Sky in this title picture with Darby Allin. Now, my thing is now, okay, so what kind of story development are those two going to have? That's just my only worry. And I seriously don't want them to try to push Darby to be something huge, because it's to me, it's not there with Darby Allin. So I guess with Scorpio it would be better, different.
Okay.
But as far as this match goes, it wasn't that bad. I can't complain about it. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't great as other ladder matches I've seen, but it was just average. Nothing spectacular stood out for me.
All right. Elio, how did you feel on this one?
This was it was just an average match. I don't really like Scorpio Sky, Max Caster. It was just average for me.
All right. Rick?
This is up there with one of the worst ladder matches I've ever seen. I gave it a 1. Scorpio Sky, I hope he's a holdover champ. I don't want to see Scorpio Sky. To me, doesn't have charisma at all. I don't know what he can bring to a title, except for holding it for somebody else to come in and take. I don't see it with Scorpio Sky.
Well, I do. I can say this about Scorpio Sky. I actually know Scorpio Sky, and I've interviewed him a few times. I've been to shows of his. He's actually pretty charismatic, and we haven't seen it in AEW.
Okay.
This guy can really hold it together.
Well, in the beginning, when AEW first started, he was.
Yeah.
He was. And
SCU,
Yes, but he stood out.
Yeah.
Yep.
When he was with SCU, and then now, like Tom just said, we just haven't seen that in a while. So,
Yeah.
are we
Well,
are we going to see that now? Being that he's in this title picture, I hope so.
And I remember they were doing the video highlighting his career.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't help when they kind of yo-yo him back and forth from dark. 1 minute he's part of a tag team, then he's not part of their tag team, then he's back. And they haven't done him any service. And I think it was a big misstep trying to force him onto commentary last week. Was kind of painful out of nowhere. Him all of a sudden changing his character and trying to be arrogant was kind of weird. I really am high on Max Caster, but I want to know, they didn't explain this crap. Why in the hell is Jake Evans interfering in his match and helping him? The guy had nothing to do with any of this card, but came out with a ghetto blaster to try and whack somebody.
Yeah, and he didn't even those hits he was doing with the boombox. Those were bad.
Yeah,
he hit like 3 people, and all 3 of those shots look horrendous. I was like, dude, serious?
Jake Evans is pretty
bad. No. Whoever, what's his name that you mentioned? He gave the boombox to
Caster.
Yeah.
When
he was hitting people with it, I was like, dude, what are you doing?
It's funny though. It's because in their
terrible.
gimmick, he's not the guy who uses it's his partner who's the one who does the so he's probably like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Do I hit him on this side or the other side? You don't even know.
Now, so we had the flatness of the Ethan Page. Okay. What did you guys feel now when finally Christian was revealed? When it was Christian Cage?
I wasn't excited.
I wasn't. Rick obviously was. I think.
You want me to go?
Rick was
doing flips.
Listen, once I saw the countdown, and I heard the Evanescence song playing. I said, this is fucking Christian Cage, baby. Not Christian Cage. Now, Tom, you said Christian is a B+ player. Yes, he is. But Christian Cage, on the other hand, is an A+ superstar. He is a
same people, right?
No,
the same people,
because when he was
he's not.
When he was in TNA, he was one of the better champions they had, NWA champion. He put TNA on the map. It was Christian Cage who did that. And then Kurt Angle came in, and then he took over. Christian Cage, WWE holds him back. Josh Sanders said, I wanted Edge and Christian at WWE. Fuck that, man. Because Christian's always the lackey, man. He is a superstar, and he can be a superstar, and he can be a Hall of Famer. He should have been in the Hall of Fame already. And WWE said, fuck you. So he said, fuck you to them. And now he's in AEW, and now he's going to tear it up. Go for the TNT title, Christian Cage. Hell yeah.
Folks, the comments by Ric Serrano the Third do not necessarily reflect anyone's reality in any other world, including the people here at WPOV.
Christian Cage, baby. I love Christian, man.
Look, the only cool thing about Christian Cage is I wrote this.
He's not an A+ player, though.
He's not at all.
He is.
The only cool thing you can get out. Hey, the only thing you can get out of here is we put Adam Page and Ethan Page against Christian Cage and Brian Cage, and we have the Cage versus Page thing, or Christian Cage versus Brian Cage in the Cage of the Cages. Oh my God, the Cage of the Cages. Yeah, in a cage match.
All right, y'all confusing the fuck out of me. You can't be doing that.
That's the only way Christian will ever look like a superstar. All right,
hold on. Rick, but wait a minute. Rick just said that Christian is better than Edge, right?
Hell yeah.
But right now, wait a minute. Right now, Edge is in the main event title picture.
Yes, because
said, wait a minute. And you just said that Christian needs to go for the TNT title.
Yes,
isn't that a mid card?
Yeah, that's a mid card.
That's title. A lower. And he can bring that up
where he fits in.
He can bring it up, and he can also be in the AEW title picture, but that's going to be taken up by Kenny Omega. Yeah, no one's taking that belt off of Omega.
So, but if he's an A+ player, he should go straight for the top, right?
Yeah.
But no one's taking that belt off of Omega, and also. Listen,
he's probably going to have a feud with him. He's going to lose.
Listen, man, let's be real about it. Edge has been the biggest kiss ass of Vince McMahon for the longest, just like John Cena. So let's just be real about that. Edge gets what he wants because fucking Vince McMahon loves him.
He puts people in seats.
No,
he does. Man. Christian does not put.
Christian is way better than Edge. And Elio, help me out here, Elio.
Elio, you want to break his bubble, please?
I gotta say, I like Edge. I do like Christian though.
Elio gave a political answer.
That's why he's my friend.
I like Edge, but Christian, he doesn't get the same as Edge.
He doesn't get the same credit. But I mean, let's look at what's going on though. Edge came back. He got a severe neck injury, and he's in the main event picture. He's going all out.
But he didn't do anything to deserve that. He won the Battle Royal. He won the Royal Rumble. But again,
and he doesn't deserve
He didn't do anything.
And the song he didn't do anything with fucking Christian too.
He didn't do anything in that match that was like, oh my God.
No.
Edge didn't do anything.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Whoa. No, wait a minute. So when Edge was in the Royal Rumble last year, he was the most talked about person.
Yes, he was. Right. Yes.
Christian just made an appearance on AEW. Crickets.
Yeah. Because no one because people don't appreciate
because the crickets didn't care.
Because people don't appreciate what he did for TNA. And again, what he did in TNA was he put TNA on the map. And he revolutionized it.
I do not agree with that. I do not agree.
We're talking about AEW right now.
And now he's in AEW and he's going to put them on the map.
Okay.
No.
Rick, I'm going to give you the best story really quick about Christian Cage, okay? Just to give the look on Christian Cage's face. I met Christian Cage when he was the TNA champion. He came to Edmonton to defend his title. He was in the middle of a feud with Samoa Joe, who legitimately was my favorite all-time wrestler and one of the few wrestlers my wife actually liked. So I meet Christian Cage. We're backstage, I think we're talking. I said, hey, man, really good to meet you. My wife was going to come down, but, she likes you, but, she has this other favorite wrestler, and she was disappointed that he wasn't here. And she's like, oh, who's that? He's like, I said, oh, Samoa Joe. And the look on his face, as his most hated opponent was being told that people preferred him more, was it was nice to see, the inner tears come in. So Christian Cage, nice guy. He had a good sense of humor about it. But I like him, dude, but he was not revolutionary for TNA. TNA will tell you that they did not get what they wanted out of him. He did not draw anywhere the crowds they thought he was going to draw, and he was not one of their top tier champions.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why TJ Logan is not welcomed in Canada anymore.
I live in Canada. What do you mean I'm not welcoming you?
The Mounties are out the way.
Jeez. All right, so we're going to move now to, okay, you know what, guys? I just checked out. I can't do this kind of crap. Cinematic matches for me are absolute garbage to begin with.
Well, we have a question about this one.
Okay. So we get into this. It's Sting versus Darby Allin in a total cinematic match. There's so much logic gaps. I honestly thought I was watching a D-level Hong Kong action movie where no one knew karate. It was just horrible. For me, I'm giving it the lowest possible mark I can because I wasn't even interested enough to keep watching. I think I just did other stuff. I want to know who wants to take this. Is anyone like this match? Did anyone think this was a good match?
Go with Elio. He's
Elio? Go right ahead.
Who said that this match was a success? Because I'd like to know what part of it was successful. I didn't like anything about this match.
No.
This was just
garbage. I don't even want to talk about
it. From beginning to end.
Did anybody you think out there like this kind of stuff?
I haven't read
it. Sorry, Tony?
I haven't read it. I haven't seen it out there yet, but I'm dying. I'm looking for it because I gotta know. Actually, Rick, you posted something on our messenger, right? That someone said they liked it. The cinematic. Match.
They said this was the best match of the night.
I think I saw a screenshot on there.
Now, you know what? Let me tell you something. Okay, when these cinematic matches, there are some that are good. Okay, there are some. I tell you, the match with the Undertaker and AJ Styles. I think it added 10 more years to the Undertaker, even though he was like, I'm done with it. But it was still good. It was still at least fucking entertaining. This was terrible. I'm being nice and I gave it a 1, so it's a D. But, Elio was like, fuck him. So, but this was bad. This was beyond bad, and I felt bad for Sting. We were making fun, I kept saying, wow, Sting's hair is still in place throughout this whole match. And if you guys remember WrestleMania when he fought Triple H, his shit was like this. I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, you got to be kidding me. This was terrible. So and of course Andy, saying it was a couple takes for this, and that's why he just to fix his hair, fix his makeup.
Yeah,
this was bad. I couldn't believe this. And then of course you knew he wasn't taking bumps on concrete, so that's why they had the ring there. They had to, so he can do his scorpion thing and whatever. But this was bad. And sorry, but the thing of it is, and I brought this up too. I didn't realize Sting debuted it in fucking December. And then now, but it's still 3 months.
Yeah.
And then now he's going to wrestle in his first match, and you do it in a cinematic way where nobody can fucking see it. The fans can't see it live. They got to see it through a fucking screen. Seriously? That's what you do?
Yeah. And one of you guys pointed this out, and as soon as you said it, I checked really quickly, is there was when he made the pin in the ring, his makeup was messed up. And then he did this thing where he walked over to the camera and looked in and his makeup was perfect. And it's like, holy shit, guys, how stupid do you think we are?
I didn't even, as much as we were picking on him about that shit, I didn't even catch that.
His makeup was perfect at the very end as he looked into the camera. And I'm like, it was just all smeared up a second ago. Like, okay. Ridiculous. Yeah, not a fan of these kind of things. Rick, you said he was total crap, yeah?
It was total crap, terrible. I don't even want to talk about it. It was that bad.
Okay. Now, here's where things went wrong. And I got to tell you guys where it went wrong. It was continually going down the hill. I have a fan who is a hardcore AEW fan, and he's pretty forgiving of a ton of stuff. All through this thing, he was kind of like trying not to say, he kept saying, well, it's not that, it's not that bad. The cinematic match, it's not that bad, And we got to this match, it started, he's like, I'm kind of digging it a bit. And then stuff started happening. Stuff like, so we're talking about the main event here where Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega fight in a barbed wire explosion match. Okay, the idea here, and it's pretty confusing rules, but as far as I could understand, there's barbed wire everywhere. The three sides of the ring are covered in barbed wire that if you touch one of the three sides of the ring, it was supposed to set off an explosion. If you went on the floor where the barbed wire was, that's supposed to have explosions. And you only had 30 minutes because the ring was wired to explode. If you were in there in the 30-minute time limit, it was going to go boom and be dangerous. Now, the problem here is right off the bat, the very first time they went into the thing to trigger it, the bombs would keep going off before they hit it. And the bombs were basically like throwing talcum powder or something. It made a noise.
Yeah. But what killed it was the replay.
Oh, yeah, the replay.
The first one, it was right on point. And then with the replay, there was like, it was a little off. But I think it was the second or third one where it was like the replay made it so obvious. It was so, I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Terrible.
It was obvious that they were using some real barbed wire in there. As you notice, some of the times they fell and their shirts got ripped. They were actually bleeding on the back and the back of the arms and stuff like that, which is kind of silly in this day and age of like hepatitis and COVID and whatnot. That, let's just go out and bleed.
The referee was protected.
Yeah, the referee. Oh my Lord. I didn't know what to say when I saw
He wasn't getting COVID.
No.
Well, I don't know about that because when Kenny Omega tugged on his sleeve, his whole sleeve came off.
Sleeve off, yes. Folks, I don't even know how to describe this match except to say it
grotesque.
It got into a lot of bleeding, lots of rubbing each other's face in barbed wire, these horrible explosions that looked pathetic. Even, did you guys, when he did his paradigm shift outside, with Kenny onto the thing, I thought, okay, that's horrible to begin with. Kenny went down weird with his neck anyways. And then the explosion was a little, it didn't even move anything. It was like some smoke coming underneath it.
It's like one of those air fresheners that have a little timer that...
Yeah. Now, here's the funniest part of this whole thing is the match ends. Omega gets the win. The Good Brothers come out. They take a bit of a beating before they all subdue. How is this? Sorry. They hand him a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire that he hits Moxley and it explodes in his face. But, of course, the explosion is just a poof with smoke, which was the most ridiculous thing I've seen. Then they beat on him until the timer goes down. And this is where the big finale of all this, the timer's counting down. It's getting super dramatic. They handcuff Moxley in the ring. He's stuck there, knocked out. What's going to happen? Everyone's getting out. Omega, then we're leaving. Out comes Eddie Kingston, which I did like. Storyline-wise, awesome. Yep. That's the only thing that saved any of this was that part of the story. However, oh my goodness. Eddie Kingston runs into the ring. He's trying to wake up Moxley. The timer's coming down. It's down to 6 seconds. He doesn't know what to do. So, because he loves him, he lays over him to take this explosion and protect his brother. And all of a sudden the explosion goes off. And I tell you, we probably all could have farted and done more damage in this whole arena than what happened. Because it basically went a little fizzle. And that was it.
Oh my God.
Nothing.
Can I say, I honestly thought that it was a prank by Callis. I thought Callis, because he was on commentary and he chuckled a little bit. So I thought it was like, oh, ha, 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 gotcha. That's what I thought it was. And then I thought it was going to be like Eddie Kingston was going to be like, oh my God, dude. All right, he's okay. All right, I protected him. But then all of a sudden, Eddie Kingston's not moving. And I'm like, no, they're going with this. They're going with like that was a big boom.
Guys, the Academy Awards just sent me a nomination for Eddie Kingston for Best Actor of the Year for pretending an explosion went off and selling it like that.
Oh, I feel bad.
The Academy sent me an award for watching this trophy.
And Moxley tweeted out, or Moxley said after the show on the mic, they have on Twitter already, that Kenny Omega's a hell of a fighter, but he sucks at building exploding rings.
Well, yeah, wasn't he building the Moxley death?
Yeah,
in the workshop.
Right. Yep, that's right. So that is a good cover, but I got to read what people were saying about this.
Yes, please do. I'm curious.
This was just fucking hilarious. I'm pointing out the ones that are really funny. Someone said that explosion at the end was like thinking you have a big fart and nothing comes out. There was another one too. I thought it was hilarious. Oh, the this was from a chick. She goes, "Did they just use Gilbert's pyro?"
Oh
my God. And then this one was pretty horrendous. I don't even know. No, I'm going to read it. It says, "That's like plugging away on your girl for 29 minutes. She gets a few O faces. Then at 30 minutes, your dick goes limp."
Oh, Jesus.
That's terrible. And then, this one, another Gilbert. They all using Gilbert a lot, but this one says, "Ouch, even Gilbert gets more pyro. Hope that mistake doesn't wreck a good night."
It did.
It's true. Kingston selling like he was just in Hiroshima. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. A lot of people are just pissed off about this. I mean, I just can keep going and going. Holy fuck. What kind of 4th of July shit was this? Awful ending. Somebody put the sparklers. That it was, we were talking about it before we did the show, and I was like, let's just save it for this moment. But I'm a big fan of death matches. I watched a lot of them. Mick Foley obviously was in it. Chainsaw Charlie was in a lot of them, which is Terry Funk. Yeah. I've seen a lot of them, and Japan does them the best. And I'm pretty sure when they saw this, they're like, "Holy fuck, what is this? Is this just terrible? This was so bad." And I'm sitting there, and I felt sorry for Eddie Kingston because he had to sell this. He literally had to sell this shit. How do you justify that? How do you justify that? I was going to call him Dean Ambrose. That Moxley has to go on this long vacation because obviously we know he's having a baby, and you're going to say that it was because of this match? You cannot, because I dare you, AEW, to say that it was because the ring exploded. I dare you. You don't do that. That was terrible. I thought the ring was going to collapse. I thought the ring was going to, like, all this big fucking fireworks all over it, something, but not a goddamn thing. And that's what you do. That's how you close. That's how Moxley says goodbye, like that. And where's Eddie Kingston? What happens to Eddie Kingston now? What
so bad.
Seriously.
I'm pretty sure Onita gave his paycheck back after seeing that. He was probably like, "This is fucking embarrassing. Have this money back. I want nothing to do with this." I'm going to, you know what? Like I told you, all through this pay-per-view, I was texting with a friend who was all the time trying to be super up about this. He kept, there was even a point in the middle of this match where he's like, "Oh, I'm kind of digging this," right? Then all that happened, and he says to me, "Damn, that wasn't satisfying when the ring's supposed to blow. What the fuck?" Because that was it? What the fuck was that? And I said, "Well, I actually laughed out loud." And he said, "Same. Why is Eddie Kingston hurt? Nothing happened. Are they really seriously selling that explosion? What the fuck?" He goes, "What a joke, man. 2 out of 10. First time I think I've been seriously disappointed in an AEW pay-per-view. I'm kind of mad." And this is a guy who's done nothing but like defend everything that they've done.
Yeah, this was a terrible pay-per-view. Overall, number-wise, I gave it a 1.7, which is about a C-. Honestly, I'm gonna go against my own score. This is an F. This was it was a long pay-per-view, and it was just not worth it. Not the time or the money. Thank God I didn't pay for it.
Tony, you want to wrap it up for your idea on this?
Oh my God, this was bad. I mean, normally, like if it's a good show, I put everything down and I'll watch the match and I'll be like, "Damn, this is good. It's got my attention." But I love all you guys and I love the Messenger, but I was chatting more on there than I ever was. So what's that tell you? This was terrible. Or like if I'm not on the Messenger, I'm playing a fucking game on my phone because it's just like
did a lot of that.
Catch something, no, okay, and I still play. This was a very weak pay-per-view. And honestly, again, like I said in the beginning of the show, is that we're not out here to bash AEW, but we have to call it like it is. I was looking forward to this, the whole show. I was looking for who's the magic or the secret signing? Who's the sixth man now? When I found out it's 2 different people, I'm like, "Oh shit, this is going to be good." The exploding match, the ladder match, the Young Bucks. I was looking forward to that match. I was looking forward to this pay-per-view, period. And it was nothing but a big letdown. I was disappointed. And if I have to give it a rating, I would a D-. I have to go with a D-. It was terrible. Terrible.
Right. Elio?
1.2. This was bad pay-per-view. Talk about it.
Okay.
It was just like, I ain't saying 1.2.
I wanted to go in and I wanted this to be interesting. I had reservations about the whole thing. I'm not a fan anymore of death matches. I used to love them. I watched them all too growing up, but there's come a point for me where I don't consider that main event national wrestling anymore. And I didn't want to see this. I thought, okay, we're covering the show. I'll watch it. If we weren't doing the show tonight, I wouldn't have watched this. Okay.
Yep.
I would have read about it or something, but I sat and I watched it. When the cinematic show came on, I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible for me. Some people like that kind of stuff. For me, it's not. I don't like that stuff. It's like extended backstage best friends Miro crap. I don't like it. Only better effects, it started off, the pre-show was great, and then it just went downhill from there. I even expected the Young Bucks to put up a better match, because we can say what we want about the Young Bucks, but at least they're exciting at times. Tonight they were off their steps. It wasn't the best. And it just got worse and worse. Shida, who I usually is a highlight, had a weak opponent. Yes, Tor?
Yeah. But no, I was going to say, normally, like, I use the analogy that Rick uses all the time. It was the bread was good, but the meat was a little sour. So it was good from the beginning, sour in the middle, and then it was pretty decent at the end. Rick, how do you say it for this one?
It's a bad fucking sandwich. It was a bad sandwich.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
No, what it was is the crust was still on, and then
the bread. The bread was sour too. The whole thing was sourdough. This whole fucking show was bad, man. Throw the whole sandwich out at this point.
But what I want to know is, how does the AEW fanboys, and I've always said this to just about every show, how do they defend this fucking pay-per-view? That's what I want to know.
Same way I defend Christian.
You just keep talking. Do we stop listening? Okay, got it. No, he's right. He's right.
These AEW fanboys, and when they defend this, it's like they don't understand or realize that, like, I'm sorry to say, cinematic matches, WWE kind of do those a little bit better than what I saw today.
A lot better.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they could defend this pay-per-view. I just don't. I don't get it.
And here's the problem I have. This was their first big pay-per-view in a long time, and such a bad misstep. They thought that they were having this idea of all these cool, interesting things that just made, AEW's come out and tried to say that they're the alternative to wrestling. They're the sports, not the entertainment. And instead, they threw so much stuff that was up there with bad Saturday Night Live skits tonight, where it was just like, I don't want to watch this crap. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans who tuned into this. Even the hardcore fanboys are going to kind of have to grit their teeth, because you can't defend this. There's nothing you can say. That main event, there's no way in hell you can say that exploding ring thing.
But I will say this. Looking at some of the comments where they were talking about the exploding matches, what a lot of them were saying? They were saying, well, it wasn't working, so how could you bash that if it wasn't working? I'm like, it's
fuck's sakes.
Seriously, a lot of them were saying that. Well, it's not AEW's fault. Why are you faulting them? It's
you
not
have
their
to have
fault.
test runs, right? You have to do a test run.
WWE
sure
does it.
Yeah. I don't know.
And why would you let Kenny
all
do
said
it, for God's
not,
sakes?
They all said it's not AEW's fault. They all said that, you can't blame AEW for that. Whoever's supposed to be in charge of
I'm going to...
Oh, fuck out of here.
I'm going to say this is the first time, I think, in any of our shows where we've probably giving a pay-per-view. This was not good. And I am highly disappointed, because I want it to be good. I want AEW to succeed. I want to enjoy these things. Maybe they'll turn it around. Maybe I'll come out of there and go, yeah. But no. Didn't happen. Rough night. And, well, folks, that's it. Like, this one, we're all going to give it a bit of a bad thumbs down. And I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for having the patience to sit through this, because I know how much of a struggle this was for me. Tony's right. I got some high scores on my game as I sat down and tried to watch some of this garbage. Folks, tune in this coming week. We have a special edition of Quarantine, which will be coming up very soon, featuring Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster. We have we don't have Clay Cummings on tonight, but you'll see on the weekend there'll be Tony, Rick, and Clay covering all your WWE stuff. Andy and Elio will be on this week. I am on hiatus for one hiatus. I'm on for that night off. It's my birthday.
But I'll be
They're dragging
there.
me out to do stuff. So, but you'll be there, Rick. That's right. Rick will be filling in for me. And God, let's hope he doesn't talk about Christian.
Oh,
right.
that's
If he does,
the hot
feel free
topic.
to.
I already feel it.
All right, so folks.
Jeez.
Folks, have a great weekend. Watch wrestling. AEW, do better. Say good night to the good people.
Plan to tell you next time.